Hey everyone, Dr. Trayford here. I wanted to talk to you today about tight muscles, particularly in brain injury. This could be in stroke, anoxic brain injury, diffuse axonal injury, but typically some type of traumatic or acquired brain injury. And what happens is, in these types of cases, muscles can get very, very tight, particularly flexor muscles of the arms, of the legs. So what happens, bicep muscles, muscles of the front of the forearm, the hand, they get in these clenched, flexed postures, and we need to be able to relax them because many people have to rely on harsh medications to keep them a little bit looser, and even at that, they oftentimes don't do the job. So the obvious understanding is to go ahead and stretch the muscles that are tight or brace them so that the limbs are now straight. And what happens is that doesn't always work because as soon as you stop the stretch or as soon as you take the limb out of that brace, the arm is just going to get tight again, and sometimes reflexively will get even tighter than it was before because the brain's control over the muscle tone is the reason that the muscle is tight. So what happens is if I have my biceps and the muscles on the front of my arm and hand that are tight, the opposing muscles or triceps, muscles on the back of the forearm and hand are inherently weak. So as opposed to going for the obvious of stretching those tight muscles, which again will reflexively get tighter, we want to do things that will stimulate the opposing muscle groups. So we want to stimulate the triceps muscles, the muscles on the back of the forearm and the hand. And there's many ways that we can do that, particularly in brain injury where somebody can't actively work out those muscles. We need to have tools that will stimulate the opposing muscles. For example, the Resimax pain tuner, which we talk about quite a bit. I'll go ahead and turn this on here. We can stimulate the triceps tendon. And what happens is oftentimes that'll provide some relaxation or opening of the arm of that individual. And the more we do that over and over and over again, hundreds of times, thousands of times, we start to create a relaxation of the biceps or the tight muscles, the opposing muscles, because both can't be active at the same time, and there's pathways within the spinal cord and the brain that allow for relaxation of one muscle by stimulating the opposite muscle. So this is one way we can do those types of things. Another is repetitive somatosensory stimulation or peripheral nerve stimulation. These devices can be gotten fairly inexpensively, and what happens is we can go ahead and put these right on the arm here. I'll show you how easy this is. And say my forearm is tight like this and locked up, what I can do is put this on the back of the forearm, and then we start to get this twitching response of the muscles of the back of the forearm and the hand. So what happens there is now we're stimulating these opposing muscles so that the tight muscles can start to loosen up a little bit. There's other methods as well, providing some resistance and having people push in as best they can to activate those opposing muscles, the muscles that oppose the tight muscles. There's also other methods as well, certain types of quick stretches on the tight muscles that can allow them to naturally loosen their tone as opposed to forcing it to loosen up. So again, multiple methods, but when it comes to brain injury, stretching the tight muscles isn't always the right answer. It seems to be the obvious answer, but not always the right answer. And this is something we experience through patients communicating with us that the braces and the stretching just aren't working. So as we start to do these types of methods and modalities, we can start to see some loosening over time. It's generally not a quick process, but done repetitively over time, it can really make a difference, start to decrease dependency on certain medications like baclofen, and then there's other methods too nutritionally that can help support the process. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.